There's Donald Trump heading out to golf yesterday while vacationing in Florida at Mar-a-Lago. Such a small individual in a big car right there. And while Donald Trump was vacationing at Mar-a-Lago and playing golf, this was the event that he was hosting at Mar-a-Lago. You see it right there where they had a giant pink Croc Birkin bag on display. The theme was expensive purses and pocketbooks. By the way, that pocketbook that they're, I guess, showcasing there is for sale at the price of $447,000. $447,000. So as Donald Trump is gutting your Medicaid, calling your Social Security a Ponzi scheme, firing veterans, cutting 60 to 70,000 jobs at the VA, tanking our economy, destroying your 401k and pension. It's great to know that at Mar-a-Lago, while Donald Trump's been vacationing this weekend, they're throwing a party where they're honoring the pink Birkin Croc bag that's for sale for the price of $447,000. Now, while Donald Trump was vacationing, he also invoked wartime powers. He invoked the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Yes, Donald Trump put in an executive order that the United States of America is currently at war. He describes it as a hybrid war between Venezuela and the Venezuelan gangs against the United States, whereby Venezuela and the gangs have created such an invasion that it is a war that Donald Trump needs to invoke wartime powers in order to deport people who he believes to be war criminals. And he says it's just going to focus on the gangs. But if you actually read the text, it would give Donald Trump unilateral authority, basically, to declare anybody a gang member and deport them without their constitutional rights. The Alien Enemies Act has only been invoked 3 times before in history: the War of 1812, World War I, and World War II. And now, as Donald Trump is alleging, Venezuela has invaded the United States of America, which it has not. Let me also be very clear. Nobody wants gangs here in the United States. There are already laws on the books that deal with gangs and how to deport them, as well as how to criminally prosecute them and how to throw the book at them. You don't need to invoke phony wartime powers. And as I've said before, I believe Donald Trump is doing this as a precursor to invoking other wartime powers to eventually declare martial law, put curfews on, and try to rule like an authoritarian. That's what this moment is about, and we have to perceive it as such. As I've said, I don't call the Trump regime a government because it's not by the people for the people. It's by the bullies for the billionaires and for Putin. Speaking of Putin, this was an interesting headline that I read. Donald Trump appoints Keith Kellogg as special envoy to Ukraine and removes him from dealings with Russia. I found that headline quite interesting because I remember back on November 27th of 2024, this headline from the Associated Press and others, and we reported as well. Trump selects longtime advisor Keith Kellogg as special envoy for Ukraine and Russia. I put that X over the word Russia, and you see I circled there November 27th, 2024. So what Donald Trump did, by the way, this was at Vladimir Putin's request, was to remove Kellogg from having any dealings with Russia. So right now, Kellogg is just the envoy to Ukraine. And the regime just wants us to accept this as though Donald Trump has just made this appointment and it didn't happen on November 27, 2024. And now Donald Trump is changing it because Putin is telling him to, but the regime wants us to believe, oh, that is perfectly normal. That's how Donald Trump keeps on caving to Putin. I've been reporting, and I'll do other reports today, how Europe has been fearlessly and forcefully by Ukraine's side and has not let Ukraine go it alone. Right? Yesterday, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer held a virtual meeting of the new coalition of the willing, whereas the United States essentially is in the axis of evil right now with Putin, North Korea, Hungary, more on Hungary in a little bit, and others. Europe is standing up on behalf of Ukraine. And they all have kind of a joint plan to make sure that there actually is peace through strength and that those words mean something and that Europe will provide security guarantees to Ukraine. But this is what Donald Trump posted yesterday. And I want you to remember this. Trump is golfing. He's on vacation. He's doing a Birkin bag party celebrating $500,000 pocketbooks. And this is what he's posting. I'm pleased to inform you that General Keith Kellogg has been appointed special envoy to Ukraine. General Kellogg, a highly respected military expert, will deal directly with President Zelensky and Ukrainian leadership. He knows them well, and they have a very good working relationship together. Congratulations, General Kellogg. So in other words, you've demoted him. You've removed him from being the special envoy to Ukraine and Russia because you're terrified of your daddy, Vladimir Putin. That's what went down. By the way, Keith Kellogg was once a respected individual. Remember, I said this guy's the first guy to be pushed out, and this guy's humiliated himself. This guy was a fierce defender of Ukraine. You can say a lot about him and be critical, but he had the experience and he had a good reputation. Now, Keith, if you're watching this, your reputation is in the toilet bowl. You played yourself and you are a laughing stock to the whole world. And I know your people watch this. You are a clown. You be-clowned yourself. I know you're watching. You be-clowned yourself. Keith, by the way, I'll show you another example. This was Keith Kellogg recently when he was speaking at a foreign relations panel, and he basically got booed and hissed. And here's what he was saying. He goes, yeah, Donald Trump said he would end the war in 24 hours. He didn't say which 24 hours. So pathetic. Play this clip.
No, but remember what President Trump said. He actually talked about the potential of getting territory back from the Russians. He said that. That's a public comment from him. So
which territory?
Pardon?
Can you tell us?
He didn't say. It's almost like, remember the president said he was going to end the war in 24 hours. We didn't say what day.
Oh, yeah. And yesterday, Donald Trump gave an interview that aired where Donald Trump said he was just being sarcastic when he said he would end the war in Ukraine in 24 hours, that he didn't really mean it. Play this clip.
But as a candidate, you said you would have this war settled in 24 hours.
Well, I was being a little bit sarcastic when I said that. What I really mean is I'd like to get it settled.
Oh, ha, ha, ha. So's the sarcasm, Donald. It's not like you killed people there, which you did. Oh, just sarcastic, like when you said no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Oh, just kind of sarcastic, like when you said people wouldn't get taxed at all, that you would have an external revenue service and we'd make so much money on the tariffs that people wouldn't even have to pay taxes ever again. Or then you said that people who make under $150,000 don't have to pay taxes. Oh, you're very, very sarcastic. Or when you said you were going to lower prices on day one. Oh, very sarcastic. When you said you were going to protect Medicaid and now you cut it and you're destroying people's Medicaid. Oh, so it's just a little bit of sarcasm here. When you said you were going to make housing more affordable, ha ha ha, how can I not trace the sarcasm as you're making people suffer? And it pisses me off that you're making people suffer. Just take a look at some of these other headlines as well. Elon Musk's DOGE cuts hit the team saving kidnapped Ukrainian children. A unit that helps rescue Ukrainian children kidnapped by Russia during its full-scale invasion has been defunded by Donald Trump and Elon Musk. They paused financial support for researchers at Yale University's Humanitarian Research Lab. A university spokesperson confirmed to Newsweek that the government funding for its work on the war in Ukraine has been discontinued. How about this? Elon Musk and Donald Trump quite literally exposing America to real terrorism from anywhere. New, Elon Musk has cut funding to the TSA for bomb-sniffing service dogs, including their food and veterinary care. That's what Elon Musk was doing. How about this? Trump's DHS just deported a surgeon from Brown University Medical School who is here legally on an H-1B visa that doesn't expire until 2027 and has committed no crimes. Trained in the U.S. at Ohio State, University of Washington, and Yale as a transplant surgeon, one of the most difficult surgical fields in all of medicine. She is a highly trained doctor on kidney transplants, which cannot be easily replaced. Her phone was seized at the border. A federal judge handed down an injunction against her deportation, but she was already deported on a plane en route to Paris. Brown's kidney transplant clinic is now strained by her deportation. There are stories like that don't get told every day, but we'll tell them here on the MeidasTouch Network. Also, it should be noted that yesterday, a federal judge in Washington, D.C., Judge Boasberg, issued a ruling, an injunction blocking Donald Trump from invoking the Alien Enemies Act, and then set a briefing schedule for about 14 days or so, and said any planes that are already out there need to turn around immediately. I wanted to flag this as well. I saw this on Donald Trump's social media posts. So as he posts, there are these advertisements. And by the way, Trump Media has only made $4 million in revenue and lost $400 million in revenue last year. But there are ads like this that I guess generate revenue that use his name, image, and likeness. So I had to click on it. It's called Patriot Addict. And it says, we're giving away free Trump blankets to everyone who clicks this post today. So Trump contracts with these people, right? I mean, they're using his name, image, and likeness to sell things on his social media platform. So I had to click on it to see, what in the world is this? What are they selling here? And here's what happens when you click the Trump blanket. It says, there is no doubts times are tough for America, and it doesn't appear to be getting better anytime soon. It's time to start getting ready for new America. To help in one small way, it's a patriotic survival company that is issuing free Trump blankets to all patriots in a massive campaign to grow their Patriot Mystery Box subscribers. So the Trump ads are saying the following. There's no doubt that times are tough for America, and it doesn't appear to be getting better anytime soon. I don't know, because when I see Trump's buddies at Mar-a-Lago, they're advertising $447,000 Birkin, Rose, Sherazade, crocodile. I don't even know how to say these words. Bags. That's what they're doing here. I want to show you this graph as well. Capital is flowing right now from U.S. to Europe. Europe's doing well right now. People are saying, get my money the hell out of the United States. I don't want to be anywhere near this Trump craziness. So people are putting their money to Europe. By the way, European countries are making their pitch to people and governments to buy their products, to buy their weapon systems, to buy their stuff and not to buy Americans. Europe, Canada, elsewhere, they're boycotting all things America, boycotting American tourism. One other thing I want to mention here, I'm going to do a longer video on it today, so I'll just mention it here as well. So Trump's buddy, Viktor Orban, is in a lot of trouble right now in Hungary. There were massive, massive protests in Budapest. And the opposition leader is poised to win. He called Orban comrade to mock him. And I think Orban is done. I think see you later, Orban in Hungary. It's just a matter of time. Then in Serbia, in Belgrade, massive protests there as well against the Putin-aligned regime there as well. And so people are rising up right now, standing up against Putin, standing up against the Trump regime, which aligns itself with Putin. And you see what Donald Trump did there with Keith Kellogg. And all of this was happening, by the way, again, while Trump was like partying, like the guys like, what would they say? Nero played the fiddle as Rome burned. Well, Donald Trump's been hosting parties with $500,000 Birkin bags for his billionaire buds and their wives and their families, and playing golf while he's crashing the American economy, while he and Elon Musk are inflicting suffering, while he's invoking war powers. Well, we the people aren't going to take it, are we? We the people aren't going to take it. Like y'all think that we're just going to be like, okay, you could have your pink Birkin bag party. Okay, Donald. Ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. People are pissed. The summer of democracy is coming. It's coming. Let's stand up. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. We're in this together. We're exposing these fools. We're exposing these fascists, huh? They didn't think they were going to have to deal with us, did they? Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.